Hi everyone, I want you to welcome you back to my channel. I am so happy to say that I have had so many views, over 1,000 views on my first video on coming back to YouTube. So I am very happy to do another video. It's going to be on the lines of the same thing I had before on the health. I really want you to all to subscribe and share. That's first of all, remember that. And just enjoy my videos. And I think you're going to learn a lot. Like I said in my other video, I already told you I'm a retired registered nurse. And I've had experiences for 15 years in various areas of the hospital. And I can tell you this, I was so happy when I heard our president mentioning that he was changing things pharmaceutical wise, because it's very important that you understand how expensive things are in the hospital, and they don't give you any kind of direction of how much you're going to get charged for whatever. But I want to talk a little bit more today about a couple of items. And today I want to discuss on oral care on your mouth. The reason I wanted to do that is because I had a couple of days ago, I had like a fever blister on my tongue. And so I was looking up information and what have you on it, because usually it has been such a long time since I've had one. I usually just go into the kitchen and get my Morton salt out, and I pour some in the cup with some warm water, and I rinse my mouth out with it, and within 24 hours, less than 24 hours, it is gone, which is great. But I also went back to check up on some more information about cold sores. They're actually called herpes. You can have those on your lip or your tongue, and it's very highly contagious. What it comes from is you've had some kind of infection in your body. Doesn't matter how long. And remember on my last video, I told you way back in December of last year, I had a little cough and everything. I couldn't get rid of it until I went to my doctor. And that's when he gave me all the things that I mentioned in the last video. So anyway, they can linger in your body, but it's also, I wanted to let you know, it's very dangerous for people who are having sex orally. When you have a herpes on your lip or your tongue, and if you're practicing oral sex, you can actually bring that to that genital area, and that's where you get the herpes, really simplex that they're talking about, and it can be very, very painful. And as of yet, I don't know if they got a cure for that. I haven't heard about it, but I have known of people who've gotten infected. So if you really want to be safe, you got to stay away from those things. Also, I had a patient when I was in the hospital. She told me she had a GI tongue. And I had never heard of a GI tongue in my life. And I'm like, what is that? So she proceeded to stick out her tongue, and this is what, if you can see that tongue, that is what she had. Her tongue looked like a road map. And at the time when I was working in the hospital, they were just treating her with antibiotics and what have you, because the doctors were trying to find out what was it, where did it come from. Well, it wasn't until I started going to see my kinesiologist, I walked into his room again, and there in the lobby, he had this magazine that's talking about GI tongues. And basically, it was a vitamin B12 deficiency. So that's another reason why I go to, like I said, the Eastern medicine, because they appear to be more in line with nutrition and what have you. The things in your body that can actually cause you illness. If you don't have the right nutrition, you can get all kind of things, which goes back again to your immune system, which is what I talked about before. Also, I wanted to mention to you something about your gums. Now, everybody, every now and then, you might experience some bleeding of the gums. Now, the bleeding of the gums, it's you want to keep your teeth clean and what have you. But for some reason, I know especially as you get older, you might have some bleeding of the gums. And what I did, I went to Walgreens, Walmart, I'm sorry, and I purchased this product. This was supposed to help get rid of the bleeding gums, and it was good. But I have to tell you, I would use my research, and I found out about home remedies. I found out about bone broth because I discovered the reason why the teeth may be bleeding is because you're suffering some kind of bone loss. So what I did is I went and I bought some bone broth. Now the bone broth is really good. This one is chicken bone broth. It has reduced sodium, and that's all it is. You can buy chicken, beef, or whatever. But it really does seem to help because when I started drinking this every morning, it was like the bleeding and everything stopped. And I remember last year when I was working at Costco, that was my job, working there with selling the CoQ10 and turmeric. They had a little test that you can do. Everybody was encouraged to go and get their bone tested. So I went and got mine because I said, I wanted to find out how my bones were doing. So when they examined me, they said you take off your shoes and they have a little device that they put your foot on. And they were shocked at my results. So the lady that had done it, she said, I must have made a mistake or something. So you mind doing the test again? I said, sure, no problem. So I did the test again. And she just couldn't believe it. She said, these results are really amazing. She said, what are you taking? And I said, well, I just take my bone broth. So she said, well, you need to go talk to the pharmacist and what have you. And so I did. He was a friend of mine. And he looked at my results and he said, Alberta, he said, this is amazing. Your results are off the chart, which is what the other lady had told me too. They were off the chart. And he wanted to know how I was taking. I told him the same thing. And he said, your bones are so strong that it is unbelievable. So I said I didn't take any calcium or whatever. I just took the bone broth. So that's what I've been doing, and I noticed the bleeding, like I said, in my teeth has stopped. Also, I wanted to share with you about grinding your teeth. Now, I do have a problem with grinding my teeth sometimes when I'm sleeping. Grinding your teeth is not good because it's usually a cause from some acid indigestion, reflux in your gut. And so at night when you're sleeping, unknowing to yourself, you may grind your teeth. And that wears your teeth down. And because it starts getting worn down, you have pain. So I bought another product called Bio Repair. This stuff is really, really good because what I do, and I just ordered some more, I put a little on my toothbrush and I put it directly on that tooth that really is bothering me, and voila, the pain goes instantly. But there's another product too that you can take that's very good, and that's noni juice. Now when I first had tooth pain, this is like many years ago, someone had told me about noni juice, and you can go to Sprouts or places like Whole Foods and you can get the noni juice. Try to get the pure noni juice. And I tell you, I shook it up and everything, and I just took like a little swallow like that, and my tooth was hurting so bad. And it was like, as soon as I took it, it was like, boom, it was for the instant, because it was cold, it was a little painful, but then within less than a minute, the pain had stopped. So that made me really curious about why was my pain gone so quickly. And then I researched and discovered that when you eat sugar, Sugar, you know, you can brush your teeth after eating sugar or anything sweet and what have you, and it still is there. Brushing your teeth has nothing to do with removing sugar. What sugar actually does, it removes the calcium from your teeth. It actually depletes that. So you're robbing your teeth of a needed enamel and calcium. So what you have to do when you eat something like that, you got to replace whatever minerals are being lost from the sugar. So if you eat something sweet, you should have some noni, or I have clove oil. This is great too, because what you can buy this also at Sprouts, Whole Foods, whatever. And all you have to do is take a couple of drops, put it on a Q-tip, and then put it on that tooth area, and that's it. But truthfully, the things that I use, like I said, the Bio works, the Noni works, and all of this. And I haven't had any problems, especially every morning I get up and I brush my teeth. Finally, I just wanted to mention about the fillings in our mouth. You know, some people have gold in their mouth, some people have silver, and that's really a very good thing because it goes back thousands of years. Do you know people used to fight wars over gold and silver? You've probably gone to the movies and seen people, you know, fighting wars, and we really didn't know why they did that. But it turns out there are a lot of health benefits from having gold and silver. That's why a lot of these kings and what have you, they would be made out with all this gold and what have you. Well, it actually turns out it's health benefits. Gold, especially, is good for the mind, it's good for the body, keeping everything in balance. And silver, around the turn of the last century, back in the early 1900s, before they invented refrigeration, people would actually take silver and put it in the meat, because the silver would prevent meat from going bad. It kills all bacteria and what have you. So if you put it in your mouth, the silver is better than all of this other kind of stuff. So you need gold and you need silver. So anyway, I hope that you got a little bit more information today from my video, and please be sure to subscribe and share. Thank you.